In this video we are going to see how to connect our Node.js application with MySQL. Okay, in most of the scenarios we may need to connect with MongoDB only, but in some business scenarios that they may no need to go for NoSQL, they may need to go with RDBMS. So in this video we are going to see how to connect our Node.js application with our MySQL. Okay, so the basic server for the MySQL setup already I have done in my system, so I don't want to install the MySQL server, but as of now I am going to create some new Node.js application. So if you see here, I have already created a simple application. So we all know the command to create a application. So the command is npm init. Okay. So I think yes. So this, by giving this command, it will ask you the questions. So in case if I give enter, as you can see here, it is asking me the package name and all these things. But already I have done, so I didn't give anything. But in case if you want to provide any name or anything, versions, all these things, just by entering for each and every questions, you will it will able to create the applications. But as of now, I created an application already in my system. So which is why that I have the file called package.json. This file will be available only when the application is getting created. Okay. So the next scenario. So the next package that, or we can say library that we need to install is called MySQL, because now we are going to connect to the MySQL, right? So our application should have a proper driver in order to connect with MySQL. So for this one we need to go for npm I mysql. So here I need to provide npm space I, and I need to provide MySQL. So this one, by giving this command, I can able to install this MySQL in our application actually here. Okay, that's it. So this is how we have to install MySQL to our application. This is called just a driver. This is not a MySQL server. Okay, so let's see how we can able to connect our application to our server. So the code which is connected with our MySQL is in Node.js. First of all, we have to provide our MySQL connection. Okay, I hope you people know. So by first, as usual, first we need to import the library. I think this you people know. We have to import this library. Maybe let me remove everything. Okay. So as you can see here, I am just providing the basic configuration here. So which means first we need to import this library. So how this is coming means we have installed this MySQL library, right? That npm I mysql. So from this library only we are importing this library in our file. I have created a file called getData.js. It's all your wish. How you want to create, you can able to create it. So here I'm just having a variable MySQL equal to and require MySQL. So if you're using a normal Node.js application, you can go for require MySQL. If you're using that export, then you can use import kind of things, syntax also. Okay, that's fine. So here, whenever we are going to connect with MySQL, we need to have a four things. So where you are hosting your MySQL, and username, password, and which database you are going to connect. In case if there is a port number is getting changed, you are having different port number, then that should be mentioned here. It is a port number. But as of now, I'm just having a 3306, which is a default port number. So I don't want to change it. Okay, so here I'm just having a local host, which is my local server. Root is the username that I'm having in my system. Password is the empty password that I don't set any password in my local server. Okay, that's it. This is the basic configuration in order to connect to our MySQL server. Okay, next one is we are going to connect to the MySQL server by using the variable called connection.connect. Okay, so by using this one, immediately it will help you to connect to the MySQL. Okay, but this is not enough. We have to execute some query, right? So if I go to the workbench editor, so you people know what is workbench editor. In order to connect to the MySQL, yes. So here this is the editor that I am having it. As you can see here, this is the data that I am having in my system. Now I am going to execute the query in from our file. So let me copy this query and go to our file. Here I am going to mention connection dot query, I think so, yes, query. Here I need to mention the what is the query that you want to execute. Okay, so select stuff, and I don't need the database because it is already defined here. So only the table name is enough. Here I need to mention the callback function. So whenever the result came, we need to have a callback, right? So we have a error, a result, then comma field. Okay, this is optional, I think so. Okay, so now let me add a error function here. Okay, so here I'm just printing the result in the log. So only the result. I didn't do anything, only just executing the query. And if I have a error, yeah, error also we need to handle. Okay, let it be. Right. So at the last we need to close the connection, because it is always best to have a closing the database connections, otherwise there might be chances that memory flow error. Okay, let me okay, so once we have done all these changes, in order to run this application as it is standalone application, I need to provide node then file name. By executing this one, you can see, yes, I can able to see all the data from the database. So whatever the data that I'm having, I can able to see this data actually here. Okay, this is like a simple query that I am having. Okay, so now let's consider there is a one more scenario. We are going to add a where condition. So for example, yeah, this one. Okay, tested this one I want to execute. So if I run this query, okay, as you can see here, I am getting only one data. So which means the matching record is only one. So it gives us only one record. So if you want to execute this kind of query, then how can we able to execute? So for this thing, let me copy this one, and as usual, I'm going there. Okay, let me comment here, because what I'm going to do, I will add some where condition. Okay, where condition. So where email is the column name, correct? So instead of hard coding our value, we can mention like this. So what it means is, this is like a placeholder. So we have to provide the value in array of values like this. So whatever the value that we are going to provide here, during the runtime, this question mark will be replaced by the value which we are going to mention it here. So here I will, if I mention test at gmail.com, then what will happen, instead of this question mark, this value will get replaced during the runtime. This is what that I have mentioned here. So let me run this application. Now the result has to be only one. Yes, so yes, so as you can see here, it clearly shows that I am getting only one result, because as he already executed this one in the workbench, for this matching record is only one, so only it gives us only one record actually here. Okay, fine. So if you want to confirm, we will do one more thing. I am giving us some wrong record actually. So if I run this one, you can see there is no records, because the matching email whatever we have provided here, it is not matching with our table. So it gives empty records actually here. Okay, so whenever you are going to have a parameters, yes, we can have the placeholder kind of thing, which is question mark. By using the question mark, we can able to uh, pass the value of here. Okay, so let's go for the insert query. Okay, so let me comment it. Maybe I will add a insert here, because once we insert, we can able to read all into, so users. Okay, so the where is not needed. So what are the field that I am going to provide is name, email, password. I think so, correct? Yeah, name, email, password. This is the only field that I am going to provide the value. So name, this one. Okay, so like this I need to provide as usual. Now for this question mark with the placeholder, we have to provide the value for name and email, correct? So for this thing, what I need to do, I have to provide a 3 strings, because we have 3 placeholders. So name I'm going to mention here, and once it is executes, I want to see the value immediately. So for this one, I'm going to mention this query here, so which will read all the value from the DB as we have this one like this. Okay, fine. So now let me run the file. Okay, so yes, as you can see here, it is working. I think it takes all the data as you can see here, but as it is inserted last record, it can able to, you can able to see the data. If I want to confirm one more time, I can go to the workbench. Let me refresh the table. So the last record would be April 2025, and which we have inserted just now before. Okay, so as you can see here, I can able to connect our MySQL database. I have able to select the data, insert data, update and delete also will do the same. Okay, so this insert I will comment it. Okay, so here what we need to do, we need to provide our update query. So update, yeah, this one also not needed. So here what we mention is set name equal to this one, password and ID and this one, all these things, and this one. Okay, so now let me run the query. So once we run this query, once we run the file, yes, so it's executed, but we mentioned, okay, it's a first data. So yes, so as you can see here, this is ID number 1. So we mentioned this name equal to update 2025, password is also update 2025. That's it. Okay, so update is also working fine. So the last step is we have to mention the delete. So delete also, okay, as you can see here, not just only for the common values. we can use it for different scenarios also. Just for name and password, I'm just having one value, where that id. So however, the main scenario is whatever the question mark that you are having, if you provide the value, it will get replaced. The first value is with the first one, second question mark with this one, third value with this one. So let me go for next one. So next one is nothing but a delete. Okay, so I mentioned the delete here. So for the delete, I think I can use only one, delete from users where id. Okay, so the last, okay, I can delete this seventh guy who is not having the password. So seventh guy, I'm going to delete it. Okay, so okay, this update I will comment it for your references. So guys, I will commit the code in my repository. I will mention the repository in my everywhere in my websites, or wherever you are seeing this one, you can able to have the comment, sorry, repository code. Okay, let me update it. Yeah, so we got the output now. If you can able to see, we have a fourth record, we have a eighth record. So the seventh record is deleted. If you see, this is a seventh record, and if I refresh it, yeah, now the seventh record is removed actually here. That's it. Okay, so we have seen all the four scenarios: selecting, inserting, updating, as well as deleting. Okay, so this is how we can able to connect our mysql with our node.js application. There is a one more framework called sequelize. So sequelize is like a updated framework. It's a ORM framework, I think so. Sequelize, yes. So this is a framework which is specifically to connect any RDBMS databases from our Node.js actually here. Okay, it is just a framework. It is like a, if you know Java Spring, Java JPA, right? Sorry, Java Spring Boot JPA Hibernate kind of thing for Node.js SQLs. Okay, maybe in the next video we will see how to use this framework in order to connect the MySQL as the proper model layer with our Node.js application. Okay, so if you have any doubts, just put it in the comment, and we will see in the next video. Okay.